Super Devil Juice Dad gave me.
Super Devil Juice! Give me that little girl!
Don't drink out of it, please!
Song of the Greys. We wrote another book.
It doesn't cost you nothing. Hit that like button, my people. I greatly appreciate it. Just to get the algorithm up. Just come on, please hit that like button. Thank you.
2010, entitled Grey Aliens and the Harvesting of Souls. Now, to discuss these books, I'm joined today by two of Nigel's researchers, Danielle Silverman. Welcome, Danielle.
Thank you.
And Professor John Biggerstaff. Welcome, John.
Hello, Richard. Given this scenario and what Nigel was hypothesizing, is that really in the same way that I mess with organisms on place, that these guys were messing with us as a species, really looking for advantageous genetics. They only care about whether they can mess with our genes more efficiently. And it turns out that the molecule melanin, actually, when we mess with genetics and stuff, one of the ways in which we can do it is to use things like ultraviolet light to actually splice the genes in the cells and actually alter the genetics, or to get things things we put in to actually take, so that we can almost microsurgically implant them in the cells. The thing is, if these cells have got a lot of melanin in them, it's a dark pigment, it tends to absorb that light and diffract it and turn it into vibrations, etc. And then the light just doesn't get where it's really supposed to go. And after it's deliberately put in there, right?
But there is a special, do you want to explain the special about melanin and how it protects the cell, the DNA inside the nucleus? That's very important.
Part of the reason you can't do these experiments, where there's a lot of melanin around, the melanin actually in a lot of people, in black people, it's actually spread out through the skin, it spreads out through the cells and covers everything. From the actions of the ultraviolet
there's no
light.
doubt in people with higher melanin, natural higher melanin, that it's far more likely that melanin will be coating the nucleus, the cell wall of the nucleus of DNA. And the point about that is that ultraviolet light, which is often used to splice DNA, is blocked by that melanin. It absorbs it. It doesn't allow it in to interfere with the DNA. And it could well be, and this is Nigel's thesis, that this was a blocker for them when they were trying to genetically alter the species. And therefore, when maybe just out of random mutation, something like an albino came along, they discovered, wow, we can get straight in. And it may well be that the paler-skinned nation, people on the Earth, maybe have that pale skin because of this genetic experimentation to make things easier for them to work on human DNA. And in fact, Professor Steve Jones argues that this thing about vitamin D being, pale skin being there to allow vitamin D to be absorbed and so on, all these theories about why pale skin happened in the first place, he believes it's not an adequate explanation. There is no real explanation or justification for the need for pale skin at all.
Yeah, because I think
dark skin is always an advantage in every circumstance.
Because most people would just automatically assume, well, they went to live in the north where there's less sun, so therefore their skin changed colour. Yeah, but that's not the case.
According to Professor Steve Jones, an eminent professor of biology, that is absolute nonsense.
Right. Okay.
There's just no reason at all for pale skin.
You would want to absorb more light, and why would we lose hair if we came to a colder climate, etc.
Yeah.
So obviously something's wrong with that idea.
Right. All right. And Nigel contends that the white races, the northern European races, have probably had the most interference from this outside entity called the grey alien.
Yeah, and he doesn't say that. It's very important to say he doesn't say that from the point of view of a kind of reverse racism.
Right.
It's just he's letting us know that, right, that's there, we may need to do something about it, and maybe suggesting ways that we could do something about it. And if you look at the record of the European nations throughout history, in terms of colonialism, imperialism, and what the havoc they've wreaked on the world, makes the point.
Makes the point. If you look at the European race history, the finest, the characteristics, and what they have done through time since they have been on the planet, even what they have done to each other, just them alone by themselves. Well, and then you look at the psychological state, you look at the genetic state of them. Why are they this way? Why are they like this? This is why I told you the number one thing that they keep us away from is anatomy. The number one thing they keep us away from is our genetic makeup. And guess what? They can't keep you away from it. You gotta not want to study it. Once you start to study it, once you started looking into, that's why I recommend neurology, biology, physics, chemistry. I recommend that to start to study. I recommend that wholeheartedly to study, my brothers and sisters. And once you start to see that, start to study that, you will eat differently, you start thinking differently, you start moving differently, and more importantly, the fear is instantaneously gone. It's gone. You need to keep me in fear in order for you to manipulate me. You need to keep me in fear in order for me to stay in the conditions that you want me in. But I'm not going to be in fear because I understand thermodynamics. I understand I don't die. I have to be in my mind. You have to put that in my mind in order for me to believe it.
The blue-eyed white races that put their finger on the nuclear. Well, I mean, what about China? Because he mentions the Chinese as well, and he says that they've had significant intervention. Is that, am I right there?
Everybody.
That's right. Yes, there's been interception all across the board. They found ways of doing it, but the most efficient way to do it is on cell nucleuses that aren't protected by the melanin shield. That's just the most efficient, easiest way to do it.
Boom. Our brains and genes. So biology and psychology are stuck with each other. But this relationship doesn't have to be contagious as long as we adapt the monist stance. Now, again, like, it doesn't have to, but understand something, my people. Your brains and genes, so biology and psychology are stuck with each other. Point blank and simple. You cannot escape who you truly are. Point blank and simple. Now, do I need to go into this? This is not what I want to go into. Let me put this down here. Minimize this. Where is the next one at? This one in. Nope. Here we go. Now, the nervous system. Now you have to ask yourself a question. Why is psychologists so driven with biology and your central nervous system? Why they want to know? My bad, people. My bad. Don't worry, I'm gonna fix it. My bad. My apologies. My bad. Here we go. Let me get it right for you. Let me get it right. So here we go. Now you have to ask yourself, why is biologists or psychologists so concerned with your central nervous system and your genetic makeup? Because they understand that the brain is the controller of it all. So if I can influence your brain, then I can influence you. I pretty much know how you're going to react if I influence your brain. Here you go. The nervous system is a living part of the body and therefore has the same basic needs as any other body part. It needs fuel and immune protection. The components of the nervous system stay alive and healthy thanks to the circulatory system and other regulatory body functions. If you study any physics, chemistry, or biology, you may remember that some of the basic building blocks of life are what? Atoms. Are atoms operating under the laws of physics. Atoms are groups in particular ways. Atoms are grouped in a particular ways to make up molecules that then form compounds in the brain. Molecules create cells, and cells interact with cells interact with each at the cell to cell level. Cells interacting with each other form a neural network. And and neurobiology of behavior are cells and their interaction with each other. There are billions of neurons and trillions of connections. That's a lot going on. So listen, here we go. I apologize, my people. I'm sitting here reading fast and going over this real quick. So let me take my time. So anyway, your cells, you have billions of neurons inside of your brain that has trillions of connections, what are called synapses. So each synapses, as I'm speaking right now, you have synapses that's going off in your brain right now that's computing what I am saying to you. Now, some people it resonate with, and some people like, what is he talking about? What is going on? And some people saying, you know, most people are saying, okay, I got that, I understand that, because without your brain, none of your physical, you cannot create any type of physical functions on this planet. Not one physical function. So again, if I control your brain, or I know how your brain works, and I can influence you that way, now I can say to you that you have ADHD. Now I can say to you that you have behavior issues and you need counseling. Psychology was created by two men. One of the names is William Woham, and the other one is James, I think, Williams. I can't pronounce. I may have forgot. But psychology was created by those two men. And what those two, and tell me what the genetic makeup of those two men. Artificial. So when I sit here and I be listening to people, they talk about when I went to school for a psychologist, that don't mean nothing to me. You went to school to manipulate black people. Simple as that. You went to school to manipulate people on a period. All that people have to do is just read, and they will be able to come to an understanding that you ain't doing nothing that the fucking European man, the Asian man, and the Arab man ain't doing. You're doing the same thing that they do. Because our people, you understand, the one thing about a psychologist, when you go to them, they know for a fact that you have to be programmed into this world and you not reading for yourself. This is the one thing that's why they say reading is fundamental. Fun for the mental. And if you're not reading, you will go into these places and you would to them, that's empowering them. See, when they go into their own places and facilities and they look at them and they say, Doc, I need help, that's a different feeling as opposed to when we walk in there. Because we're not supposed to be going in there. How did the roles get reversed? How did we, as a people, were here before them, looking at these people in the worst conditions of their lives? And we tried our best to assist with them. And now they're the ones that are teaching us, medically and psychologically evaluating us. How did this take place? How did this happen? Doesn't make any sense to me. So here you go. So how do scientists sort all of this? How do scientists sort all of that out? They look at the nervous system in two basic ways: anatomical organization and functional organization. Looking at the nervous system from an anatomical anatomy viewpoint essentially focuses on the parts, and the functional organization view is concerned with what those parts do with respect to mental processes and behavior. The autonomy of the central nervous system consists of both the brain, the spinal cord. Although the spinal cord is critical, the focus of this section is on the brain, which is considered to be the underlying physical foundation for psychological functioning. The underlying physical foundation for psychological functioning. It is literally the command center for behavior. The command center for behavior. So a lot of people that may write something down, a lot of people that act out, understand something. That's why I say people have undeveloped brains. There is something going on neurologically. That's why you can't put me inside of a courtroom, because this would be simple and easy. Black people don't have medical conditions. Our condition is that our brains are underdeveloped, and it's purposely being done that way. It is purposely being done that way. Through the language, environment, through the food industrial system, and through fear with law enforcement. This is purposely being done. Like, for example, you got during the summertime, see the weather is changing. Your fucking fire trucks and your ambulances coming down the streets consistently where it's busy, where majority of where black people are at. And it's making those loud noises that causes tinnitus inside of the brain that damages your brain. This is why you don't like the sound. But see, they don't do that in their neighborhoods. You can go into the suburbs and you won't even hear the ambulance or the fire engine truck coming. You will see the lights flashing. You won't hear that shit in our neighborhoods. As soon as it leave out the station, the noise is going off the chain. So, psychological function. It is literally the command center for the behavior. The brain with billions of cells, its sophisticated network, is among the most complex biological structure known to scientists. So let me just read that again. The brain with billions of cells and sophisticated network is among the most complex biological structure known to scientists. So let me say this to you. You have 600. For the people that, I don't knock you for working out. Let me just say this to you because I used to work out. Let me put this down because I want to pull something else up. It's already up there. So I'm gonna pull that up. So let me just say this to you. Your brain, again, have millions upon millions of neurons, right? And neurons have information in them. Abundance of information that communicate from one hemisphere to the next hemisphere, or sending that information down to limbs, organs, and subcortical parts in your brain. Now, you have about approximately close to 600 muscles in the human body. What needs to be worked on most? What needs to be worked? I used to be in the gym 3-4 hours a day, twice a day sometimes, working out. What did that do for me? Nothing. Nothing at all. In fact, I'm more healthier now, understanding my genetic makeup as opposed to I was then. My bones is 10 times stronger than I was when I was trying to lift the damn gym. My lungs are my oxygen that's flowing through my body is 10 times better, more fresh. My longevity is there, way better than what I was then. Trying to lift the gym, working out all day long. The brain is the most important muscle that you should be working on consistently. You got 600 muscles in your body. That don't even equal up to even a quarter. Not even a quarter of the neurons that are inside of your brain. Your muscles don't even equal up to the neurons that are in your. You have 3 brains in your body. You have your stomach brain, you have your cerebellum at the top of your 33 vertebrae, and you have your frontal lobe, which they don't want to tell you about again. Your frontal lobe, it deals with higher conscious, higher thinking. You understand? But we operate from our cerebellum. So you have 3 brains in your body. And that cerebellum right there, you can tell me what it does. Basic bull crap. Everything that has to do with the physical world. Now hold on, let me read this one more thing for you. And I'm gonna go into my other videos. Here you go. Right here. The amygdala. Now the amygdala is again at the top of your 33 vertebrae. I left my brain inside the car. People that understand what the amygdala is, it's the stem part, like the pond that sits at the top of your 33 that's connected to the spinal cord. Now, the amygdala, just in front of the hippocampus, is another memory structure that is primarily involved with emotional processing. The amygdala interacts with an area of the frontal lobe cortex called the orbital frontal or the ventral medial prefrontal cortex to generate and process the major emotions of anger, happiness, disgust, surprise, sadness, and particular fear. People who have sustained damage to their amygdalas have reduced abilities to react to and avoid situations that induce fear. Fear. How do you have damage to your amygdala? One of the ways that you would damage your amygdala consistently is the release of cortisol. Cortisol is not supposed to be releasing through your body continuously. And this is with your epinephrine, but meaning your adrenaline. You're not supposed to be in fear all the time, fight, or freeze. And a lot of times, we so stuck in that mode, we don't understand that a parking spot can bother us. Next thing you know, cortisol. We don't like the way our hair is done. Cortisol. We don't like the way the makeup was on. We don't like the way the street people cleaning the street or trash is being picked up. The next thing you know, you release it. We constantly walking around in cortisol. That's why if you don't understand psychology, you will understand dealing with collide. There's a reason why when they kill a black person in a fashion that they kill you, they make it national news. See, you should tell them not to make it national news. We don't want my children seeing that shit. I don't want my children seeing that. For what? Why they don't make it national news and local news when there is a white man that went berserk and started killing their people? How about the guy that beat the guy up underneath the bridge and started eating his face? Why is that not national news and local news? But choking a black man to death to put you back in flight or fight mode or freeze, to have you in a violent state. They will make that local news and national news. And then they want to compile it by having a fundraiser over $2 million for his lawyers to make you even more upset. When you should say, don't even send him to jail. Let him live in the sun. Let him walk up underneath the sun. See, don't even send him to jail. Let him walk up underneath the sun. Because see, we are guilty of a species to abandon our brother like that and to allow our brother to be put in that position, because guess what? There were black men on that train. I know it was black men on that train. So to let our brothers be put in that position and for other races of people to assist them, let you know the characteristics of who you're dealing with. See, let me just make this very clear. See, once again, they know who to do this to and know who not to do it to. Understand that. They know who to. See, there was a point in time, see, that we would have took out 5 or 6 or 7 of them before one of them took us out. Just know that. There was a point in time that we moved just like nature, and more importantly, honeybees. You see nature turning on them now? You see what honeybees are doing? You know, when honeybees release a stinger, they know they're going to die. So what is the honeybees now feeling that's saying, you know what? I don't give a damn. I got to get you away from me. I got to get you out. Look at the sharks jumping out of the water. I'm just telling you, look at what's happening. Look at what's happening around the planet. They can all continue to use cognitive dissonance all they want. They can all continue to walk around and hunky-dory and act like ain't nothing taking place on this planet all you want. But the sun right now is at the same peak it would be as it was in August. That's why all across the news they're telling you to wear sunglasses and hats on top of your head. Protect yourself from the sun. This is why Bill Gates want to block out the sun. And people that's over in Europe that are now complaining about the fact that it's been constantly cloudy over there, it's no sun. Let me explain something to you. I want to say this to you, and this is with love and appreciation and value. You don't want the sun to come out. You see, they know already. They know what the UVC radiation is doing. You don't want the sun to come out. Although it may feel good to a certain point, it might look good on your lawn as you standing inside the house and you look out, but I look at the sun. It's so beautiful. Yeah, but let me just say something to you. You are changing on an anatomical level, and so is us. We are changing on a cellular level. Every last one of us. So what they're doing is spraying the skies to slow down your change. See, they can't slow down our change. We're connected with the entire cosmos. Only we can slow down our change. But for them, but for you, they're trying to slow down your change. Because guess what? It's going to become apparent, even to the sleepers, that we are completely different from one another. Completely different. See, for the last several years, they have lied and merged us together with your genetics. They have told us that we're more vulnerable to all types of viruses and diseases more than you. See, something is taking place on this planet that's going to reveal it all. But they could not stop. So now, this year will be the year of the human BS. This will be the year of the human BS. It's already transpiring. Let's just like when Putin just got finished shooting and dropping bombs over there, supposedly blew up a place where now the radiation level is extremely high in Ukraine. Well, come on. Listen, the radiation level on the planet is extremely high. Has nothing to do with just Ukraine. The radiation level is extremely high on the planet because of that sun, our binary twin, the red Trachina, the blue Trachina. Stars that are up in the sky right now that are emitting cosmos, and the ozone layer is being removed. People appreciate the content. Hit the like button. It doesn't cost you nothing. Hit the like button. Appreciate the content. Hit the like button. Hold on. Is there anyone else? I think I got one more that I wanna go over real fast. I think it's one more. Nope. Is there anyone? Some scientists? Literally, nope. Okay. So now let me pull up this. Go over here. Where do I want to go at first? Where I want to go at first? All right. Do I want to go here? Nope. Let me get into. 1 second here. I got everything lined up the way I want it. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna stick with the psychological state here. Stick with the psychological biological state. Boom. Here we go right here. Want you see this person right here? Come on up here. See this? Minnesota police investigator Eric Garmentez will serve only 90 days in jail after pleading guilty to 3 charges of raping children. Huh? 90 days in jail for doing what? Raping children? I told y'all already, they're going to legalize this already. America, the whole entire world. Listen, children are already being abused at an alarming rate in other countries. It's coming to America. But in order for it to work in America, tragedies have to take place. And believe me, you get ready for the dumb shit. This is not something that just happens, my people. Understand that. Hold on, let me exit this out. Let me go right on over here to this. There you go.
Here we go. Now, mind you, this is not the dark web by any means. This is just something that you can look up casually. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the Human Meat Project. People for people. One body can feed up to 40 people. Donate now. Is that the other one? Hold on. CannibalClub.org. Specializing in the preparation of human meat, Cannibal Club brings the cutting edge of experimental cuisine to the refined plates of LA's cultural elite. Let me show you this week's menu. Panini pasta with meat sauce, sirloin steak, placenta lasagna. Mmm. I hate it here. I'm over it. Oh no, I just want to show you guys some.
You don't even gotta go on the dark web for that. It's right in front of your face. You don't even gotta go on the dark web for that. It's right in front of your face. And here you go in the Matrix. This is, he was telling you in the Matrix. Listen to this. Watch this.
I'm going to be honest with you. I hate this place, this zoo, this prison, this reality, whatever you. I'm
See,
going.
what you don't know, as I stated to you before, is that Pindar, Moloch, and their crew look at Earth as a prison because they can't maneuver throughout the cosmos like you and I can. So, but they have intelligence. So once you give someone, like for example, once you start teaching someone and they have intelligence, now they want to be more than what they want to step out of their boundaries. The same thing with the white folks. When we saw them, we created schools for them. We gave them a barter system so that they can coexist with one another. So that's why it be hurting me when I be looking at my brothers and sisters talking about we need to work out a barter system. No, we don't. We need to get rid of selfish, entitled French toast people in our culture, that shares our genetics. We need to get rid of selfish, entitled people that shares our genetics. Because you can't, honeybees. Do honeybees have a barter system? Do elephants have a barter system? Do lions have a barter system? No, they don't. They take care of each other, they eat what they need, and then they leave the rest for other people. We are dealing with selfish people. Instead of grabbing one apple off the tree, you want to grab the whole goddamn tree, and you don't want to share it with nobody else. They got to do something for you in order. Those type of people got to go. You will not move on into the age of Aquarius. You will not move on into ascension into the 9th dimension. You will stay right here between the 3rd and the 5th dimension. You won't be going onto another dimension. There is a greater world where people that are so selfless that they are concerned about the well-being of each other as opposed to them worrying about themselves. And that's where I'm from. I don't know where none of these people are from. We need to create a barter system. We need to do the bird. We don't need to do none of that shit. I want to see you live. I want to see you great. I want to see you be successful. What the hell? And if there's anything that I can do to contribute to that, let me help you out with it. That's what we need back. And that's what we're going back to.
Indeed.
That's what we're going back
Indeed.
to. So let me play this one here too. Pause. Pause. Here you go.
2022, I was shown a vision of the solar flash. I was also shown precisely when it will occur. But I've come to believe that dates are simply estimates. At the time, I made a video where I tried to replicate the vision, but I didn't share it because it just did not feel like it was the right time. Recently, I've been having this nagging feeling to do so. The first video that I saw when I opened TikTok today was of a time traveler who shared a couple of dates in 2023 where he said something significant was going to happen to humanity. And among the dates listed was the exact date when I was shown that the solar flash was going to happen. It made me think of that lady that was compared to Nostradamus. And when I looked her up, I saw that she had also predicted a solar storm happening in 2023. And so I knew without a doubt that it was time for me to come forth and share what I was shown with the collective.
So it seemed like a pretty sort of like regular day. Think of a beautiful sunset, but instead of the sun setting, it was rising and getting bigger and bigger and closer and closer. It was huge. And
Pause. Let me show you something. Let me play something. Pause. Let me play something. Here you go right here. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So when birds, hold up, when birds are chirping 9:30 at night, and like, yeah, Mr. MB33, if you watching my video, I see you out there with the birds. I know already. I've been doing it in Philly. They've been doing it over here in Philly. But listen, 9:30 at night, 9 o'clock at night. Here you go. Let me just play this a little bit.
The neighbor's trees, our trees over here. Here I'm going at it again. They were doing this at 3 o'clock when I got up. I had done it all night. Last night, it was so crazy. They started doing this last night at 9:30, actually around 9 o'clock. And went strong all night long.
So what do they see in the sky that you're not seeing in the sky? Huh? What do they see in the sky that you're not seeing in the sky? The birds, huh? What do they see? Huh? Could it be the red sun?
not red. And people were staring at the sky, captivated by what was going on. I was like in a building of sorts, and how I noticed is that suddenly the scene changed. There was a movement in the building, and people were pointing at the sky, and they were there to get like a closer look at what was going on, but they were like falling over to like take pictures of what was happening. I was at the scene, but not part of the scene. I was like more of an observer. And this went on for some time. It was so fascinating to see. But then suddenly things changed. And what I observed is that people who held like high vibrational thoughts and positive thoughts and emotions appeared unaffected, but people who held like low vibrational thoughts and emotions like fear, anxiety, these were amplified.
That is way more true than you realize. Our Earth is in preparation. It's in preparation not for a supernova, but to receive a micronova from the Sun, which is also called the Great Solar Flash. This is known as the event or the ascension point. Our planet is in the process of preparing itself, and therefore each human being is in the process of preparing to receive this flash from the Sun, which is a signal that is
I've always wanted to kill someone. Can I give it a try?
Check out the bathtub.
Soon you will see things more horrible than you can even imagine.
Check the crystals out.
Well, maybe not that horrible, but still pretty bad. So while we wait for your enjoyment, I bring you a dear, sweet man, Mr. Henry Winkler. Good evening. Covered in bees. How can I win?
Spitting and trampling on the cross and denying the divinity of Jesus, which is, we see artists like Playboi Carti and Lil Uzi and Lil Nas X and all of these artists nowadays who are claiming to proudly have satanic allegiance by having upside down crosses or Baphomet tattoos. This is being shown clear as day, bro. And I want you guys to be mindful.